I respect my parents. I do not fear them. And sometimes when you are standing in your intrinsic right as an individual, not only as a child, but as an individual, and you're doing that to and or with your parent, sometimes it can appear as if you're disrespecting them, that you're challenging them when you're advocating for yourself. So I'm telling you, I've been through a lot in life, but I don't feel as burdened by those experiences because I've been honest with myself and I've been honest to the people that have afflicted me or that I have afflicted. I've been honest, just being honest. That's a crucial component to any relationship. I respect my parents, yet I do not fear my parents. I do not intend on fearing my parents. And I say this because respect is of a higher value than fear. For me to respect you, for me to love you, as I've said previously, for me to love you, I have to respect you. And for me to respect you, I have to find value within that relationship and see value within you as an individual. So again, I respect my parents. I do not fear them. And sometimes when you are standing in your intrinsic right as an individual, not only as a child, but as an individual, and you're doing that to and or with your parent, sometimes it can appear as if you're disrespecting them, that you're challenging them when you're advocating for yourself, when you're expressing yourself, when you're speaking, when you're acting. It can appear as if you're challenging them. You're attempting to intimidate them because sometimes the truth is scary. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth is inferior. Ooh, get the word right, girl. You messing it up. Inferior. You know what I'm trying to say. Infuriating. Infuriate. Oh my God, that's not a mess. But you know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes the truth is hard. Is a hard pill to swallow. A hard, dry pill to swallow. No water, no lubrication. So, yeah. Growing up with parents from the South, specifically from South Carolina, focusing on my father, he is a country boy, a really country boy, not just, we country because we live in the South. No, dirt roads, you walking barefoot. You got chickens, pigs running around. You eat the chicken out your grandma's backyard. You walking past the candy lady house to go see your auntie and them. You driving down that same dirt road you just walked on with your bare feet. You driving down it at the age of 5. No supervision. That's country. That's what I'm talking about. And, he's also a Navy man. He's been in the military almost all of my life. He still works within the military, although he's not actively deployed or he's not in the Navy anymore, but he's still working with the military. So nonetheless, I think one thing that I had to really, what's the word? I wouldn't say reconfigure, but something that I had to just teach my parents, and more specifically, my father, is that you're not going to make me fear you. It worked when I was younger in my adolescence, oh my God, no, I'm gonna get a whooping, or no, he can definitely reprimand me, and he still could to this day, you know what I mean, because I respect their discipline. But nonetheless, when it gets to a point where you're restricting me as an individual, when you're hindering my growth as a woman because you want me to be what you want me to be, what you say I should be, because you have strong views of what your children are supposed to do, because you have this perception that you almost own your child because you conceive that child. Nah, I have to remind you that I'm an individual. And that's like a Southern mentality, in my opinion, where your parents attempt to incite fear within you or evoke fear within you. Nah, you're not gonna do that, player. You're not. And I speak on this not to shame my father, but to speak highly to the growth in my father and the courage within myself. For me to be as courageous as I was in my adolescence, in my teenage years, for me to be as courageous as I was. I'm still baffled by this because it allowed me to be so honest with myself as I too was honest with other people. It allowed me to be as authentic as I present myself today. It allowed me to be me. And it wasn't even that it was encouraged by my father. It was just something that I had to have the courage to pursue. So I don't know really where I'm going at with this. I'm very much so speaking freely, but I wanted to speak to how, like, as a child, especially when you come from Southern parents that weren't raised with the best, they were raised with love. They were raised with support, but they still had their adversity. As in, you still had your alcoholics, you still had your crackheads, you still had your uncles, beating the shit out of your auntie. You still had the infidelities. You still had all that fucked up shit. If you've ever seen Mississippi Damned, that truly encapsulates various family members and or dichotomies within, my family infrastructure and within a lot of Black Southern family infrastructures. You got the lesbian cousin, you got the pedophile cousin, you got, all of that going on. But like I said, this is a free-flowing conversation, so I do apologize if you're just like, bitch, get to the point. But nonetheless, there really is no point. I'm just speaking. I guess where I want to go at with this conversation too is just to formulate a healthy relationship with your child. You just have to understand that this is an individual whom was given to me, yet they do not belong to me. We are merely meant to share this experience together. That's the beginning point. And then the second point for me as a child is just understanding that my parents are literally children that have grown up and had children. They are children that have grown up and had children, and they're just trying to figure it out, quite the same as myself. And that allows me to appreciate the relationship even more, to where when adversity arises or when conflict arises, I'm humbled. I'm humbled by this realization is what I'm trying to say. And also, I think it's interesting how the relationship between a child and their parent is often perceived to where the parent is most accountable for how the relationship is to resolve itself when conflict arises, or how the relationship is to progress on the basis of what the parent does. But a lot of it too depends on what the child does. I don't think I would have the best relationship with my parents if I didn't have the courage within myself as the child to take the initiative to want better with them. And they being able to be receptive to that desire and choosing to do better as my parents and as individuals. Certain things that I've done for my parents as their child solely relates to me as an individual, furthermore grooming their individual growth, yet also influencing their parental strength, for the lack of better wording or phrasing, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't make any sense, please let me know. Because again, like I said, this is a free-flowing conversation. But I think I kind of touched on all the points that I wanted to discuss. Just remember, as a child, your parents are just children trying to figure it out. And as you have this realization, that's another thing too. Actually, I was talking to my Mimi one day, and I was thrifting. I was at Goodwill, and I had a good find that day, girl. Boy, I had a good find. And I was talking to my Mimi, and it was just crazy how I'm talking to her, and I'm having a whole conversation with her like she is my girlfriend, like my friend. And that's another vital aspect to the parent-child or the youth and elder relationship, being able to just befriend that other person. For me to love you as I love you, for me to respect you as I respect you, I have to build a relationship with you. I have to define this relationship. And a lot of it is derived from the friendship that is acquired or sustained, through it all. Because being my mom, is still being my friend. The only difference in that is just how we have access to each other. That's the only reason why there's a variant to the degree of respect or love that I am to hold for you. You know what I mean? Or like how close we are supposed to be, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm done rambling. I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to talk about that. I just wanted to talk about, just me being 21. My parents had me at 21 and 22. And again, having this humbling realization, like they were just children trying to figure it out when they had children. And they're still children figuring it out and have figured some things out, yet are continually growing in this process of life. And also the growth that we experience as individuals or the growth that we have experienced as both parent and child directly correlates to just the individual relationship or the individual concept of one another. Seeing me as an individual and seeing you as an individual and valuing what I say. Not saying that I'm a child and I'm going to stay in a child's place, because I am staying in a child's place and I'm being honest. Sometimes honesty hurts for a lot of people, but it's the truth. And that's so liberating. The truth is so liberating. It is so freeing. I just feel like, I'm telling you, I've been through a lot in life, but I don't feel as burdened by those experiences because I've been honest with myself and I've been honest to the people that have afflicted me or that I have afflicted. I've been honest, just being honest. That's a crucial component to any relationship. It's just being honest. When you're honest with yourself, especially, that enhances the resolution of any conflict by like 10 times, if you ask me. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling, guys. It's 10:56 and I'm trying to speak as the thought comes to mind rather than allowing the thought to pass and then trying to come back to it and curate this sensation that no longer exists. Because sometimes you're like, oh, this is a good idea. I will record this on Friday. No, record it today. Today is Wednesday, August 25th, 10:57 p.m. Record it today. Record it right now. Speak on it. And then make it make sense as you edit it.